Tonight, we honor one of the most significant figures in the history of Gilbert and Sullivan Austin. Ralph MacPhail Jr., whom we affectionately call Rafe, began serving as our artistic director in 2005. He transitioned on January 1st, 2021, to the role of Artistic Director Emeritus, and will continue to be a consultant and a valued member of our association. Professor MacPhail is a true giant in our history. The first 2 decades of the 21st century were a phenomenal period in the history of Gilbert and Sullivan Austin, and much of the credit must go to this remarkable man. Audiences grew, with numerous shows playing to packed houses. Many of the finest singers and actors in Central Texas appeared on our stage. Artistic quality and production values grew exponentially, with sets, costumes, and technical features drawing rave reviews. Our prestige in the community grew as GSA productions were nominated for and received a wide range of awards. Rafe first directed for us in 1998 and has stage directed all but 4 of our grand summer productions since that time. He has enjoyed an admirable partnership with music director Jeffrey Jones Ragona, who treasures their years of work together.
Greetings, I'm Jeffrey Jones Ragona, the Director of Music and Principal Conductor for Gilbert and Sullivan Austin. And I'm here to pay tribute to G&S Austin's Artistic Director, now Emeritus Artistic Director, Ralph MacPhail Jr., affectionately known to us here in Austin as Rafe. When Rafe first came to us in 1998, I was told that he was North America's leading expert on Gilbert and Sullivan, something that instantly terrified me, as I was convinced that I was about to be exposed as the fraud I was. Instead, Rafe turned out to be very kind, very professional, very congenial, and supportive. He was also very knowledgeable of the music. This is something that is not always the case when a music director and stage director collaborate. In fact, stereotypically, the relationship is contentious. But Rafe and I never had a cross word or a disagreement with each other. He was always very good about telling me what was going to be going on stage so I could better prepare the actors and the orchestra for what we would be doing, and was definitely far more knowledgeable about music than he ever gave himself credit for. He would often say that he had no ear and he had no understanding of music, and I just want everyone to know that's simply not the case. He may not have possessed the training that I or any other conductor would have, but he has an ear, and he knows good music, and he knows how important it is, and he loves to hear it. I know that your next adventures are going to be very grand, and I look forward to the day when we may once again all gather in theaters, and Rafe is here as our honored guest and our emeritus director, a title well-earned, emeritus meaning worthy of honor or deserving of merit, and Mr. MacPhail is all of those things. Rafe, I thank you for the friendship, the collaboration, the support, and the education that I have gained over the last 2+ decades.
Rafe and Jeffrey have worked closely with production manager Bill Hatcher and stage manager Monica Kurtz for the majority of these shows. All 4 of these individuals have been named to our Hall of Fame, and what a team these professionals have been. Rafe has directed some of Austin's finest actors and singers, and they recall the experience of working with this unique director.
Rafe MacPhail. What can I say about this wonderful man that hasn't already been said? He holds a very special place in my heart for the 20 years I've been in Austin. The very first production I did with him was The Sorcerer in 2001, and 18 productions later, my feelings for him have only grown. To me, he has always been an impassioned, exciting, and thoroughly thoughtful director. No one knows more about the works of Gilbert and Sullivan than he, and he has taught me more than he will ever know. He certainly changed my knowledge of directing and the art of blocking. I promise to always lead with my downstage a leg. He's always been willing to collaborate with me on my characters and give me leeway if I feel passionate about something. Be willing to trust me, in other words, something other directors are either unwilling or unable to do. The awards I've been fortunate to win or been nominated for, I give all credit to Rafe. I truly believe that if not for him, these accolades would never have happened. There are far too many stories for me to pick just one or two, and I'd be here all night if I tried. I wish him and his lovely wife all the best in Bridgewater, and I hope he will always feel the desire to keep in touch with those who have loved and respected him for so long, myself included. To Rafe, all I can say is a simple thank you for all you've taught me and others, and all you've done for the society.
Long before Professor MacPhail began working with us in Austin, he was renowned as a GNS scholar. During his tenure as professor and director of theater at Bridgewater College in Virginia, he directed Savoy operas both there and on many other stages. He has authored numerous reviews and papers and has made presentations at many symposia and conferences, including the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. His leadership in the worldwide GNS community is legendary. During his lifelong scholarly endeavors, Rafe had the opportunity to study many original documents, including the prompt books of W.S. Gilbert and those of the D'Oyly Carte Opera Company. He knew in great detail how Gilbert himself had staged his productions, understood the significance of the minutiae, and dedicated himself to directing productions in the authentic style of the originals. Gilbert and Sullivan Austin has benefited immensely from our association with this remarkable scholar and artist. He is a courtly gentleman, a congenial correspondent, a fascinating raconteur, and a warm-hearted friend. We look back in pleasure at his many directing triumphs, all of which brought honor and glory to Gilbert and Sullivan Austin. Tonight, we honor Ralph MacPhail Jr. and express our heartfelt thanks for his years of service and influence. When we are able to gather in performance spaces again, we look forward to having Rafe and his dear wife Alice back in their seats to enjoy the next production. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring Mr. Ralph MacPhail Jr.